caregiver. Many people thought otherwise. And then beyond that, they say it can't be for profit. You know, they can be reasonably reimbursed. Now, what does that mean? Now, they've left that open because that's left open to a question for the jury to decide. So it leaves people in unresolved exposure to cases where they could be charged and convicted of offenses when they're not sure exactly what the statute provides for and how it's going to be interpreted. And we have that problem here. So let's go through the statute just to heck it, so you guys get up to speed. All right, I'll read it to you, all right? It says, the local governments can adopt ordinances, regulations, or other acts to control, regulate, or permit the otherwise authorize the following. So in other words, they're going to say that cities and counties, governments, can make their own regulations about how they're going to control, tax, and regulate marijuana. That includes cultivation, processing, distribution, and safe and secure transportation, sale, and possession for sale of cannabis, but only for those individuals lawfully authorized. So they're saying that the city or county can say, in our county, we're going to allow marijuana to be sold at pharmacies. We're going to provide licenses for that. We're going to tax them accordingly. Other counties might say, no, we want nothing to do with her. We don't want it to be licensed. We don't want it to be sold in our county. Yes, you have a right to possess it because the law will provide for that, 1 ounce, okay? And you can grow 25 square feet canopy-wise, but they may or may not allow distribution, cultivation, or sale beyond that. Number 2, they can also regulate the retail sale. However, not more than 1 ounce per transaction. Now, what does that mean? That mean I can go every 15 minutes, get an OZ a week? I don't know. That's an example of the areas that are not being resolved, okay? In licensing premises, persons over 21 for personal consumption and not for resale. So they say that they can sell it 1 ounce per place. They can license premises for persons over 21 to use it, but they're not allowed to sell it to other persons, obviously. Appropriate controls, okay, no. Age limits and controls on those locations to ensure that those present, employed, or in involvement in those locations are over 21. Consumption of marijuana in the licensed locations can be done by the county. Safe and secure transportation, as I mentioned earlier. They can prohibit and punish through civil fines and other remedies the possession, sale, possession for sale, cultivation, processing, or transportation of cannabis that was not obtained lawfully from a person pursuant to the section. So they can come up with new punishments through civil fines. They're not saying they can come up with criminal offenses, but they say civil fines. Then it's at number 8, regulations of licensed premises regarding the zoning and land use. They can, what hours they can do it, who can occupy the premises, what about the question of adjoining neighbors, whether they're going to authorize it. For instance, in LA County right now, they just passed an ordinance regarding dispensaries, which basically closed down about 100 of them, leaving open approximately 100 of them. But they're making them move in 6 months unless they comply with the latest rules, which include being 1,000 feet from a school, library, park, almost everything you could think of. That makes it almost impossible to find a location in LA County that's convenient to a medical patient to get to, unless you want to go out to Chatsworth and find some, couple of places, storage facilities or whatever they call those places, warehouses. Anyway, and then they can provide appropriate taxes or fees, and they can increase. Local county can increase appropriate and proper personal possession and cultivation. They can make it more. They can say, we're not limited to 1 ounce. Our county, we can have 3 pounds. And I'll give you an example. If you look at my guide, just for fun, if you really want to get up to speed, I have in there a list of counties that have given excess protections to patients beyond what is provided for in the medical marijuana law, which is 8 ounces of herbs. In some counties, on page 17, for example, some counties are allowing people to have 2 pounds. Some counties let them have 3 pounds. Some counties let them have 72 plants for Oakland, for example. Indoor 72 plants you can have.